do you respond to people who say that there is actually a deepening cycle of violence in Iraq rather than a trend toward the positive?
Mr. Secretary and also General Pace, could you tell us what you think this attack in Iraq says about the changing tactics there and also the intelligence gathering capabilities of the insurgents, since there were so many involved in this and it was clearly coordinated?
It's hard to tell on the basis of one attack exactly what tactics may or may not be changing. The fact is that in this particular case, about 50 or so of the enemy did collect together for whatever reason they thought was appropriate. They attacked and they were killed. So I think it'll be instructive to them for future analysis when they're thinking about what they're going to do next.
For Afghanistan, doesn't it worry you about future ambitions of NATO in other regions, or for instance Iraq?
Clearly, to the extent that activities are agreed to that go beyond that, that requires then that NATO countries step forward and supply the capabilities to execute those functions. We have to see that there's a close connection between what we decide to do and what we are willing to offer up to do. And I think that we'll keep that quite tight. So I'm not concerned about it. I think that each country has to make a judgment as to what they can offer up. And if you think about it, I mentioned in my opening remarks the large number of NATO countries and invitees that are already participating in both Iraq and Afghanistan. It's impressive.
Doesn't it worry you about future ambitions of NATO in other regions, or for instance Iraq?
Would you like to state clearly what is your attitude to the plans of the European Union to establish military planning capacity outside of NATO?
There have been some reports. Someone showed me something off the internet that was pure fiction. I'm sure no one in this room participated in that. Our policy is very clear that we strongly support NATO as the primary forum for transatlantic defense. We support ESDP that is NATO friendly. Therefore, we worked hard, our alliance did, I think for 4.5 years, to fashion Berlin Plus, which we support, and we stand by them. And you're quite right, there are discussions and consultations taking place at the defense ministerial level, at the foreign ministerial level, and at the prime ministerial level. And I'm confident and hopeful that things will sort through in a way that we end up with an arrangement that is not duplicative or competitive.